Voices in Internet Radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the Internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
What's happening, everybody? It's your main man, Mr. Brookshire, and oh boy, we are so real, and we are, we real talking with you. So listen, y'all already know how I always do. Y'all know I love you, right? You already know, and y'all gonna be saying this with me. I know y'all been saying this with me for the last year or so or longer. You know I love you, and you know that the only reason why we are here in this house every single week we come in all for you because I love you so much. Y'all know that, right? You know I love you, right? Let me tell each and every single one of you something, okay? This has been one of those unique weeks, but you know what I found? This is just a principle that I'm gonna throw out to each and every single one of you that I found is that time, my people, time really does heal most things. Like I'm serious, unless you like cut off like a limb or something that I don't know if it might, it'll heal it, but unless you like something serious, but something emotional, time really does heal certain things. The mind is a unique situation to where if you are able to put yourself in the position for the mind to get adjusted to, even if it adjusts to the things that are not even good, the mind will adjust to something that ain't even good. The mind adjusts to it. That's just how credible the mind is and how powerful the mind is. It will make you like something that you don't even know you don't even want to like just because you've been there long enough, or it will allow you to use that situation to be able to triumph through because you're able to sustain even in the worst conditions. Your mind is able to mold and be able to move through no matter what. You are bad. Did you know how bad you are? You know I tell this to y'all every single time that I come on here, how powerful each and every single one of you are.
Appreciate you, inviting me to your amazing studio.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. It's
I
gonna be
appreciate
fun.
that. I think so too, man. And we're gonna really get into some hot topics today because, folks, we haven't did any hot topics in quite some time because we just been interviewing people and getting that education. But there's been some things out in the news. You know what I'm saying? There's been some things out that I think is worth talking about. And I am thrilled to be able to see your opinion on these things and your commentary on some of these things. But how is life, man? How's it been? Tell us a little bit about yourself first for the audience that doesn't know who you are. And tell us a little bit about you. I guess we do a little interview. Just a little.
A mini interview.
Little mini.
Yeah. So I'm Matsen Andreas. I'm from New York, where I've been modeling for quite a while. I was up for a few films out here, like including Twilight and a bunch of others, and I was brave enough to move out here.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared shitless to come to LA from New York. But I'm excited. I've just been doing a lot of acting. I just started acting out here as well, and doing a lot of hosting. So I'm really happy to be here today to talk with you, my new friend Brookshire.
Well, I do appreciate that. Awesome, definitely. And I just want to give big shout outs in the studio to our intern in the house. She's definitely already on point. So big shout outs to her. Definitely thank you for all that you do, because again, we want to let everybody in here know that we love them. You know what I'm saying? That we appreciate all that they do in here for us. So now, New York, how does someone, get into high fashion? Because everybody sees that you use a Matal. What's your nationality, if you don't mind me asking?
My family's from Peru, Lima, and my mom's Indian. So it's I call it mixed blood.
Do you speak other languages?
Spanish, but not well.
Okay, but do you understand it?
Of course, very well, yeah.
Okay, so you understand it very well. Okay, cool. So now you are into the hosting. Like I said, I loved your style because not everyone can make the guests feel comfortable.
Well,
and I've seen you in beds with people interviewing to, red carpets, to the couch, to, just to sit down.
I know. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of celebrities.
You had a nice little Rolodex.
For me, it's not about the interview. It's about actually that connection. I like no matter what walk of life you come from, I like getting to know your opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a thought process. I like that kind of engage in someone and figuring out what makes them tick and what their thoughts are on various topics. So I think that's interesting.
I can dig that for sure. Definitely.
I'm not there to play that gotcha game. So it's like not trying to put them on the spot, more or less trying to get a relationship or rapport with them for those 5 minutes you're talking to them.
I can dig that. So for those people that who are you really? I mean, I just want to know who are you really? I mean, Matsen, who are you?
I'm a boring kid that stays at home a lot and write. And, honestly, I'm a kid with a massive dream, and I'm just in LA trying to pursue it, and trying to be positive. Sometimes it's really hard, when you're, the odds are against you. So I'm trying to, make it in this world and not be, negative. That's my goal right now. And ultimately, I want to give back. A lot of projects that I created. I produced a couple things. I have a feature film that's being shopped around right now, as well as a couple TV shows, and each element has a philanthropic component to it. So my goal is to be creatively productive and give back as much as I possibly can.
Giving back, I can definitely dig that. It's all about how you give back, man. And the purpose, I tell people all the time, as you move in this world, you want to have some sort of vision. Correct. I mean, you want to have vision and purpose, and so many people are purpose and intention and vision, they have a deficit in it. They don't have it. They're just going along and moving along, and then you ask them, what are you doing? They don't know, and then they're wondering why they're miserable or unhappy because they don't have any purpose to put their focus towards. And anytime that you're out here just swinging and you're not swinging at any target, it's going to use a lot of energy.
I love that you say that because actually, you have to have some sort of direction, good or bad. There's a great, when I got to LA, I was up for a bunch of TV stuff, and it's you get some, you don't get some, and I just completely take everything personally. And a guy gave me this, and it sounds weird and very LA, but it's his name's Earl Nightingale. He's this kind of motivational speaker back in the 50s, I believe.
He gave you something personally?
No, this guy gave me.
Oh, I was about to say, word.
No.
Alive
He's
still?
not alive.
How you do that, dog?
But one of the things he mentioned is about finding direction. It's like a ship. You have to have some sort of direction.
Yes.
And things may come like storms and such, and they may sway you from where your ultimate goal is.
Right.
But you have to have direction. If you don't, then ultimately you're just never going to get anywhere because you have no sense of navigation there. So it's his name is Earl Nightingale. It's amazing. It's actually called the Strangest Secret. That's the name of it. It's a 30-minute. You can find it on YouTube. Actually, it's really wonderful.
And this is now. Are you in audiobooks? How do you get self-help? How do you nurture your spirit? And everybody, we gonna get into them hot topics, but we just talking right now.
You know what? I think ultimately it's the people you surround yourself with. I think so many times. I mean, therapists are wonderful. I'm actually doing a web series on therapy right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's called Psychotherapy.
Okay.
But, it's kind of a crazy. That's a crazy story, but generally therapists really are helpful. But I think ultimately it's your friends. You have to surround yourself with people who ultimately know what your goals are and have your best interests at heart. I always find it interesting when people are in relationships. It's they never listen to their friends. It's if your friend's saying, listen, this guy or girl is bad for you, wouldn't they have the best judgment? Because when you're in a relationship, scientists have said, it's like being on cocaine. It's your mind doesn't understand and it cannot respond the way you should because your obviously feelings are involved. So your friends ultimately should be the best judge as far as are you on point with your career, with your love life, with what you're trying to achieve in life. I think so. It's about friendships and trying to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and listen to them when I'm fucking up.
I concur. Yeah, I mean, you need someone to give you a quick, good, stiff kick in the rear end
A little bit.
at the right times, and then you also need someone to be able to nurture at the right time too.
Correct.
I think that's definitely important.
Friendship. It's not just about support. It's also about challenging you and making you the best you can possibly be.
Now, you've been out here in LA how long so far?
A little bit. I like to say a year or so, but I go back to New York very often because I get scared.
Oh, what?
Yeah, no, but I'm making it a go. Like, I think this is the first holiday I'm actually gonna stay.
Are you gonna stay?
Yeah.
You know what? I have to say this about the holidays. You know, and I've been in the LA area and I've lived in New York and different places around the United States. But you know, one thing that people do here in LA on the holidays is a lot of folks that stay here and they usually kind of come together at somebody's house and nobody has a home here that they could go to, so they go to everybody else's home and have like a potluck, and everybody kind of makes their family that day. Each other becomes family, and those are some really great moments. I think I've had. You know, of course, I love my people, you feel me? But I've had some of my greatest moments, I guess, as an adult, having those Thanksgiving and those Christmases with, I wouldn't say strangers, but strangers outside of my family, you know, and, you know, them honestly giving gifts and, you know, cooking and everybody coming together and eating at the table and, like, still giving that thing we did with family, but with, you know, new family.
You know, it's an interesting thing you say that, because it's like it's with family. It's like you may love each other, you may not like each other,
right?
And if it weren't for being family, you would not necessarily be with them. You know,
some of them.
So friends, when you create that, it's a choice you make. You make an active decision to spend time with these people. So
right.
I think that's probably even more important sometimes than family. You know?
I concur with that totally. So this is what we're going to do, everybody. This is what we're going to do real quick. Like, we're going to take you straight into a little songity song real fast. Right here on Real Talk with Brookshire. We're going to take you to a quick little song. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back, and then we're going to get into some of these hot topics, and we're going to do some talking. We just going to talk. We're going to do some talking. How about that? All right. So we're right here live on latalklive.com. Also, love923fm.com. Of course, I'm your main man, Mr. Brookshire. Of course, in the house with my guest co-host, special co-host. We have Matsen in the building. I said that right?
You did.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I might have to ask you a couple more times along the way. But we're going to...
wrong one, so you're good.
Good. We're going to be right back, everybody, right here on Real Talk with Brookshire.
For you, crashing down and falling for the sound. Now I found it, yeah. Now bring it back. Turn up your speakers loud. I can feel it pumping from my heart. 'Cause I'm alive, yeah. Oh, I need the beat to take me away. I need the feeling that I crave. Turn it loud, 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 loud.
Baby girl, let's go, let's do it now. 1, 2, 3,
me crazy.
now bring it back.
All I need is one night out. This is the object of my love, yeah. Oh, no. I need space to move my body. I need the floor all to myself. Tell the DJ time's running out.
Baby girl, let's go, let's do it now.
DJ time's running out.
1, 2, 3,
Control ya. Give me I give anything to have another cup of you. Can't catch my breath, there's nothing left. Calling on you to rescue me, 'cause things ain't the same. Can't take the pain. Wish you would rain down on me. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty for you. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty for you. I'm so, I'm so, I'm so, I'm so, I'm so, I'm so thirsty for you. I've been praying every day that your hurricane will come my way, so I can feel every drop of you all over me. I don't know what I did to make you go away. I'd take it back if I could, just to have you one more day. Can't catch my breath, there's nothing left. Calling on you to rescue me. Things ain't the same, can't take the pain. Wish you would rain down on me. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty for you. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty.
What's going down, everybody? It's your main man, Mr. Brookshire. And I am so back with y'all. What's going down? And of course, we still have in the house my boy, Mr. Matsen. What's going down, brother?
Hey, what's up?
Chilling. Okay, so this is what we about to do, Chur. Okay, we about to go ahead and just get into some conversation and really start talking about what is going down right now, because of course today is going to be more hot topic shows and things of that nature. So we just want to get a little bit into what's happening, and what I thought was one of the most unique things was Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson suing Michael Jackson's estate. Fascinating. I mean, you never would have thought that it would happen. Of course, you know, you got the mom Dukes of Michael Jackson, Miss Jackson, actually suing for the life of Michael Jackson, and that whole process, saying that if those situations didn't happen, then of course, you know, Michael would still be here. So she's suing for the life of what he could have lived a life of. And so now with him doing, you know, they turned it into Cirque du Soleil or Dulé or whatever they say, all these different things have happened. This is it. They used a lot of the music and a lot of the things that Quincy Jones originally produced from the Bad, Off the Wall albums, things of that nature. But he's talking about that they didn't give him any royalties. Dude ain't getting paid. He's saying, ain't getting paid. That ain't cool. Because somebody getting paid. Mom Dude's going after a couple billion, somebody getting some funds up in her. So what's your thoughts on this? I mean, it's kind of, I get it. You just wouldn't think, I think you look at it from the perspective of, okay, he's Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson, why are you suing the estate? It's kind of like, Michael, why are you suing? So you have the emotional thing, but then you look at the business side of it and you say, well, you do got to get your paper. That was the point. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts?
Well, there is no personal relationship. It's business. It's like I always remember Robin Thicke a bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like he got sued by Marvin Gaye's estate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just because it's funny because you can hear you listen to Blurred Lines,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you listen to it was an Aaliyah song as well. It's can't remember the name of the song, but if you play that song, everyone thinks it's Blurred Lines. That's how similar they are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you have all these old artists who have done so much for the industry, but a lot of younger people aren't aware of their music, and they're sampling them like crazy. So they should get paid. I mean, it's not, personal. It's business.
I agree. I
I
definitely
mean?
agree.
And I think sometimes people use personal relationships to get away with murder when it comes to business. And sometimes, you owe someone money, you need to pay them.
I agree. So now I wonder how this works, because of course I understand, especially in LA right now. In LA, they closing down every courthouse. In I think there were like 40 or like 20 or 30 different courthouses, but I think almost like 10 or 15 were closed. There are only like 7 courthouses or 8 courthouses in like the Los Angeles district that is open now because of all the financial declined supposedly, even though people still paying. It's declined. Anywho, a lawsuit right now in most courts is going to take you at least a year and a half once you file it to be able to get it, unless they, of course, settle under. And of course, a lot of times if you have, all the proof to settle, you can settle. I think something like this is pretty cut clear. It just almost makes me sometimes sit back and think of, why does he even have to present a statement? Like, it should seem like when he goes to these reps that are repping this, and it's like, clearly, I produced this music. It seems like this should have never even had to make an article, because they should have been able to handle this before it ever reached
the
news.
You would think so.
Right.
But then Marvin Gaye's family went to Robin Thicke and Pharrell, I believe, and mentioned it, and they were kind of like hushed away. I think they were offered $10,000 to. It's like, no.
Okay, so you're saying that was a sample. So Marvin was like, okay, so tell me that one more time. Tell me that one more time.
There's a song, I believe it's called "Gotta Give It Up." I think that's the name of the song.
Okay,
it's an old Marvin Gaye song, but Aaliyah did her version of it.
Okay,
it's a really chill track. It's kind of disco-esque, very much like Blur. It's blurred lines. You can't escape it. It's blurred lines.
It's the beat of blurred lines.
If you didn't hear Robin Thicke sing, it's blurred lines.
Okay, so it's the melody.
Completely, yeah.
Right.
So I know nothing about it. I'm not in the walls with them, but I believe that they went to the state. I mean, to Robin Thicke and his advisors, and try to get some money. It's like, this is not cool, and they gave them like a really low ball offer. So they took them to court. So ultimately, I don't believe Quincy Jones. Obviously, like I said, I'm not in the walls with them, but I don't believe he just ultimately said, "Hey, I want to sue you guys." I'm sure he said, "Hey," had his reps send over some papers, say, "You owe us money."
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, play up, like, like, look at this, and then people are not responding, I guess, within time. So I think that's foolish, and it's a lot of money, because trust me, these lawsuits ain't no joke. But I guess if you got the money and you got the time and the attorneys, because a lot of money was made off of that. So I can definitely.
You got to get yours now.
You got to get yours. You definitely got to get yours. And so moving along, let's just jump real quick into Chris Brown. Chris is at it again. Now, my first thing that comes to mind is, I don't think there's any kind of like bipolar situations or anything going along. And I get the story of exactly how it all happened. I understand that. But the dude said he had a broke nose. Like, I think that came a little bit extra. I get it, trespassing, you're jumping on the people's bus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand how it could happen. But you got to understand, player, you on probation. So you can't just hit somebody or just do certain things that maybe the person that ain't on probation can do. So what's your thought on that one right there?
I'm never one to defend Chris Brown. I was actually at an Oscar party, and he was there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he got into a riff with someone there. So there's always a history of riffs with people, just in general. Maybe that's his personality. I don't know. But in this situation, I'm gonna say no one ever deserves to get their ass whooped. However, this whole photo bombing and like going places you need to sometimes be taught a lesson.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like I said, I'm not defending violence. I'm not defending Chris Brown. However, at what point do you have restraint?
I agree.
In today's society, there's no such thing as boundaries.
Right.
We want to be in people's business. We want to photobomb. We want to do things and snoop and all that. So it's like, at some point, you have to learn a lesson.
Right.
So I think this kid is going to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And honestly, was it extreme? Absolutely. If Chris was smart, he would have had his bodyguard bust his ass.
Right. Instead of him.
Okay,
yeah. Let's talk about that. Where is security?
Well, his bodyguard's in jail with him right now.
Oh, so his bodyguard.
Both of them are in jail right now. Yes. And I guess this is in Washington? Where is this?
What is the
DC?
purpose of having security if you still get arrested? You and your security get arrested.
Well, I think both of them actually, bust his ass a little bit.
But I mean, isn't that the point of having hired security? So therefore, these celebrities can have somebody bust that ass if they need to.
He is a bit emotional and temperamental. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not defending him in any respect.
Right.
I'm just saying, this whole photobombing and disrespecting people, especially when people are drunk. It's like, you know what? At some point, you need to understand this should not be happening.
Right.
So I know I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, but you know what? he'll learn his lesson. No, it's not right. It's not right.
Right.
But he'll learn his lesson.
Yeah, I think he said something about reports said that the dude had to get
A broken nose.
he got his broken nose and he has to get it fixed immediately, and that he would have let it go if Chris Brown would have just apologized to him right then and there. I don't know about that necessarily. Like, okay, you bust my nose, break my nose, you're Chris Brown, and if you apologize to me right then and there, I would just let it go.
No.
He was planning on sue. I mean,
You know what? Both of them.
Come on.
Both of them are guilty. The problem is this guy's trying to make it seem like he's above it all. He's actually just wants.
yeah,
the
because
money,
you went
know?
in, like they said, the girls were trying to take a picture, like, and then the girls couldn't even take a picture because of this dude, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there were two of them.
It was two of them, and so it was just a hot mess.
You know, and like I said, at some point you have to take responsibility for your behavior. I mean, and I've been around some people who get, kind of crazy when they drink, and it's embarrassing. I remember
Right.
we were in New York at Soho House, and I was with a friend. She is just. I don't know. We're not friends anymore. So she's so wasted, and we're there, and you have to be a member to get into Soho House.
Right.
So we're waiting downstairs for a friend to come, get us because we're on the list or whatever. And she is just a wreck, and she completely just leaves her. She was waiting, so she went and got pizza from across the street and started eating in the lobby. It's just
No.
people when they drink, they just get completely reckless and
Especially ones that can't handle it, right?
completely, and it's just embarrassing to herself, to me, and you know what? So this kid was probably like asking for it. You shouldn't ever. No one should ever hit someone in the face.
Disclaimer.
However,
Right.
he'll learn his lesson.
He definitely
Yeah.
will learn his lesson. So moving along, I just wanted to, of course, highlight the beautiful picture of Miss Rihanna on the cover of GQ
Oh, I've
magazine,
not seen
British.
it. Oh wow.
The British GQ magazine of Miss Medusa. She is actually portraying Medusa
Okay.
on the magazine. Amazing.
Nice.
I think I looked at it. I tried to find something that could have been wrong with it, and
Why
I
were you
couldn't.
trying to find something wrong?
I don't know. I don't know. Like,
what is that
it-
about
it-
human nature? You
I
need
don't.
to find
I
something.
know,
negative.
right? Like, no, but I wasn't trying. I guess let me switch that. When I say wrong, because from just a photography standpoint, like, did she pull it off? Did she really snakes, Medusa, that whole thing? A lot of people have tried, but I could not. I honestly think she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She did an amazing. I think she made it work. For the magazine. I mean, I don't know what the viewers out there think. I'm sure that they'll think it also. But she's doing that sexy thing real well. What you think about that tattoo on her stomach there?
I think Rihanna is a complete example of knowing exactly who you are, good or bad.
Mm.
And then sometimes you have to live your life, and irrespective of what Mr. Brookshire or me or anyone for that matter thinks about you, do
That's
your
true.
thing. It's like
I agree.
you have people sitting there commenting on people's lives while she's actually doing it. And I think she's actually in her skin,
Mm-hmm.
and she knows who she is. So like, no matter what she does, even when she does a little bit of that '80s weird denim look, she's still, she's still her, and it comes off well just because she's confident in who
I
she
agree.
is.
What did you think about? Did you see the video? Throw it up.
No.
Oh my! Well, it was a little different. I remember
Oh.
watching the video from somebody else's computer from across the room over yonder, and it didn't have no music to it. And I was just like, "Who up there gyrating and grinding like that?"
Yeah.
I mean, she really gets in. I guess I think that the theme is, of course, like stripper club thing of that nature.
Yeah.
So she really shows her explicit side, should we say? I thought it was different.
Yeah.
But I guess ever since that good girl gone bad, we had actually. Andre Merritt, big shout out to Andre Merritt. He was actually on the show last week. He actually wrote the song Disturbia.
Oh, nice.
Again, he was talking about that transition of it originally was a wrote for Britney Spears, but then she came in and heard it when they were writing it and said, "Oh, I gotta have that song." And of course, it became a smash hit. And just seeing her career of how it has grown from one hit to the next hit to the next hit. I mean, I wonder what it would have been like almost if someone like if Leah was still around, like if she would have been able, because she was starting to have those hits after hits and
See, I
hits.
think it's a different.
What
it's a
is
different,
it?
You know what? It's funny you mentioned Aaliyah. Aaliyah is like Ciara.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty girls, decent songs, but they're just they're lost in the shuffle. It's kind of like Christina Milian,
Right.
all those girls,
But
Maya.
do you really think Leah would have been lost in the shuffle? Because even Sierra, I can understand that. I mean, talent, she still sticks around. She still sticks around. But when you think about it on the level of who actually has the ability to sing,
Rihanna can sing her ass off. She really can. Watch her sing.
I've never heard her sing her ass off live. So when did she do it? Only in the series?
Did she not
the
sing
studios?
"Stay" at the Grammys?
Did she sing "Stay" at the Grammys?
Yes, she did. And to be fair, it's like I didn't listen to it initially because it was a slow song she was singing. The first time she premiered it at the Grammys, she was amazing.
Okay.
So who are you saying
that
sings great live?
That song was, I guess, wrote with her tone. But if you get one of those girls that did American Idol, they would blow her out the water singing that exact same song, and they did.
So you're saying Ciara is a better singer than
I
Rihanna?
might think that Sierra could possibly sing better
heard
than than Rihanna, as far as in just singing.
Have you heard her sing live? When does
Sierra
Ciara ever sing live? When?
I mean,
Her
of course,
song,
she's not getting the play anymore. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I think if I was gonna go and see someone, not Rihanna's all that stardom, but as far as in just on who I would pay money to go and see and listen to in a performance, I would go and see Sierra any day before I would go and see Rihanna.
Really?
I would pay to go and see. I love Rihanna. I love all the things that she does on radio and audio, but a live performance, I don't even watch it when it comes on Grammys or any of those. That's probably why I might have missed it. It's just not that entertaining to me without studio quality.
Do? I love Ciara. First of all, I love Ciara. I'm just saying that Promise is one of my favorite songs, but there's no vocal or acrobatics that's involved in any of the songs. So
I understand.
I don't get how you can make that that
it's just
assertion.
more pleasing to listen to live. That's all. And I'm not saying that. I mean, of course, obviously, Rihanna's been more of a hit maker. Of course, completely more of a hit maker. And then, I still say you can sometimes wonder when I think, of course, the island twang, and then of course she's beautiful, and I'll give that to her. But I mean, if you look at it on talent, I think on talent, I would pay to see Sierra if it wasn't for the Rihanna brand. If they were both there, new artists, standing next to each other and showcase, I would have probably went with Sierra first.
I like Ciara. I think she's first of all, you talk about beauties. She's impossibly beautiful. And great style, but I mean, like, I defy you to name a single performance that she's like amazing. Is like even when
she's a dancer, she's more of a dancer. I get it. But Rihanna's not a singer. I wouldn't give her a singer. I wouldn't give her a singer or really performer. I think she's an entertainer, but I don't even know if I would even give her an entertainer. Wow. I think she is someone that was able to get in a niche that worked. And she was been able to get the right producers that have been able to take her beauty and her unique island sound and make it work. Okay. I think they've been able to make it work for her. But I would not be having her on as a judge on American Idol.
But you'd have Paula Abdul or Britney Spears?
I wouldn't have had Paula Abdul on there either. But I mean, I guess when you look at...
Okay, so Jennifer Lopez is the singer.
Definitely not Jennifer Lopez. But Jennifer Lopez has 11, 12 albums out. So when you look at her history, she has the credibility to be able to say something. But I mean, I think the best season, if we were just migrating into that, and as far as in judges, was the one they just had. When Mariah Carey was on there, Keith Urban was on there. I think that was a better season of people that actually had those abilities to do it.
The show sucked because they were afraid to, like we just talked about being yourself. They were afraid to be themselves and actually give constructive criticism.
Okay, I can understand that.
If you're afraid to do that, the show is a TV show is completely different. But back to this, it's like you're saying about Jennifer Lopez, and I love J-Lo. She's from New York as well. But I'm saying it's just you can have 100 albums if seldom of them are hits. And
I agree with you on Jennifer.
Do you know about Rihanna's chart history? I mean, she's
blew over the charts completely. But I would not pay
and Katy
to
Perry, the only ones that are doing things.
And I agree. But even like somebody like even a Katy Perry in her career, I mean, she had so many albums. I mean, so many contracts and got dropped. It wasn't until recently where something when she kissed a girl that that actually had something that popped. But she started off as a gospel album
and she
artist.
Writes her own music.
Writes her own music. I mean, was very talented. And she's one that is very, very talented, can sing and really get in there and do it. And I'm so glad that her career is blossoming. But has she won a Grammy yet?
Never.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she still hasn't. I mean,
So is that how you justify success?
I don't think I justify musically success as that, but I think that if you're at that point where you are bringing out hits, you would think
Correct.
it would bring one. But who was it? Diana Ross, if I'm
Has
not
never won a
mistaken,
Grammy.
doesn't have a Grammy, but she's considered a legend.
What do you consider?
I mean, she is a
considered
legend, not but
What is
don't
this about,
don't be listening.
Brookshire?
Don't listen.
I mean,
don't
come
be
on.
going off on my consider in wording. I'm like, the world does consider her a legend. She
That's
is.
a weird word. She is.
She is a legend.
What
but
she's achieved with the Supremes alone, and then you have her as a solo artist. I mean, the number one hit she's never won a Grammy. Bob Marley's never won a Grammy.
True.
Okay, and you have Kanye West, who's won 21, I believe, and is complaining because he's never won Grammy Album of the Year. 21
Wow.
Grammys.
he's
Yeah.
got that many.
Yeah, and I think Beyonce has 19. Yeah.
Kanye's won more than Beyonce.
But remember, what the weird thing about the Grammys is like you have best rap sung. What the fuck is rap sung category? There's no male and female vocal performance anymore, but there's rap sung. So there's a lot of opportunities for them to win awards, as opposed to if you're someone like an Adele, and you just get into the mainstream. And someone like Diana Ross, who was like a Whitney Houston, they were vocalists. They never wrote music,
Right.
So they can only have the opportunity to win as a vocalist. Or if their album or song,
that's
record
true.
of the year.
That makes
Otherwise,
sense.
they're limited. Kanye is a writer, so anytime a Jay-Z song or they all get a Grammy along with that.
You know what? And that's actually fascinating. I just realized too that TLC, and just to speak about to move into TLC, was actually the best female selling group of all time. I didn't know they sold more than.
They're not. You see, we're mixing facts again.
That's what they said in the movie that came out.
Yeah, they're liars. They're not. No.
I was like, really? I mean,
No.
maybe at their time they were.
Correct. They're the
Not-
best. They're the best selling. See, everything has a caveat. Everyone has they're the best selling R&B group. That's what they are.
Okay.
Dixie Chicks has sold more albums than they have actually. So,
Right. And I would have thought that even Destiny's Child, but then
But I believe they only had 2 albums, if I'm not mistaken.
who
Destiny's Child and one Greatest Hits.
did they? I
Yeah.
thought it was like 3.
Maybe 3, but still, it's
Maybe.
like. But remember,
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
3,
but
maybe
remember
4.
the music industry was
Yeah.
back when TLC was making music. Red Light Special sold like 10 million copies.
Oh.
So one album,
and
can-
people were buying
Correct,
albums
and,
then.
and now they aren't buying albums. Like seriously, like if you sell 2 million copies, you're a success nowadays. Back in
Right.
the day, like Whitney Houston was selling like 15, 20 million copies.
Right.
So it's a different game now. So it's like, what's a success now? It's not. I mean, think about it. You can have a modest career back in the 90s and walk away with millions.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
if you did your contract right,
Correct,
because a
exactly.
lot of them did not.
Correct.
Tony Braxton, sometime Mary J. Blige, a lot of them
Correct.
folks were broke as a joke, TLC and them, and they were having millions in fans of it. So the biopic came out. Of course, it's coming back on again, VH1, the talks were amazing about how well the girls that played these characters, the group's characters, looked exactly like them, acted like it took you back to. I remember just looking at Twitter and Facebook. Everybody was on there talking about how well the movie was definitely played. And big shout outs to Rochelle for playing Pebbles. She played Pebbles. Rochelle's a friend of mine.
Oh, nice.
So big shout outs to her for playing Pebbles in the movie. And I was looking, I was like, oh my God, that's Rochelle. What's going on?
I think it averaged 4.5 million. It was like the highest rated VH1 show like in 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
That's pretty good.
for VH1. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, for VH1, because, I mean, now, getting into it. Now, of course, I love myself some Keke Palmer. But it wasn't until really looking at the movie on how beautiful, and Keke Palmer is beautiful.
She is.
But compared to Chili, even Chili today, looking at it, I think Tatiana Lee would have played a better looking
Okay.
Chili, as far as, and nothing's wrong because she's beautiful, but when you really get to put them next to it, now people say, of course, when you watch the movie and things like that, you don't see any of that, but just kind of looking at a resemblance of Boom and then Boom, I think Tatiana Lee would have definitely pulled off the look of Chili, and because she's a very, 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 very beautiful woman. I mean, but everybody else was on point. Little Mama was on point with Left Eye. Everything was on point. So I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it again tonight and really
So you saw
get
it
into
originally?
it. Correct.
Oh, good.
So and really, really, really getting into it a little bit. So we'll see what happens on that one. So moving along a little bit to our next topic is Barney's. I mean, of course, I remember the situation with Oprah walking into a store and them telling Oprah that Oprah said she wanted a handbag out of this one particular store. And I think it was overseas when she went to interview Tina Turner and do her wedding and be a part of her wedding. And the woman refused to give Oprah the handbag, telling Oprah she could not afford it. So I guess Oprah came in looking like Celie or whoever, Effie, one of them, she came looking in there like, but she didn't look, I guess, like herself.
See,
and so
when-
the woman did not give her bag.
I don't believe that was a story.
That was a story.
Yes, but it was twisted.
What do you mean?
So they wanted her to the store was closing, and she wanted her to open the store to allow her to buy the bag.
So nobody ever brung that up. Now, all these reports.
That's my point about these things. Like even with Chris Brown, it's like there's so many facets to a story. By the time it gets into the media, everyone has an opinion. Like this Barney situation. We don't
With Jay-Z,
We
right.
have no idea what elements were going on in that store. Yes,
Right.
they bought it. We have no idea what was going on there. And maybe it was a racist security guard or whatever the situation was. Completely those things happen. Why is Barney's responsible for what one individual does? And why is Jay-Z responsible for this situation as well?
And that's what I don't
it's just
understand.
so
It's like
moronic.
people are saying, okay, you're black, you got your stuff in this racist store, you should take it out, or you're not considered, what about us? And it just amazes me. It really is kind of like crabs in a barrel for most time if you allow it. It's like as soon as you come up, there's always people trying to find a way to pull you back down, no matter how it is under the circumstances.
It's an unfortunate situation, but that overreaction is just as bad as being apathetic to situations that are really, there's people who are suffering throughout the world. There's corruption. There are things that's going, people don't have enough to eat.
Right.
Focus your interests on those things. You want to make a difference in those things.
Right.
But I hate people just sit there and they talk because they have no lives of their own.
Right.
That effort they spend in that, that stupid negativity, they can actually make a difference in someone's life. But I don't know how Jay-Z, of all people, is responsible for this. Is it a security guard or a saleswoman? I don't know.
Well, they just feel like when people walk into Barney's that, people of color are racially profiled, that, they're watched. And, there were several celebrities that have went in there also that have also stated that they felt uncomfortable.
Completely. And I don't deny that. But however, you also have to look at different dynamics.
Right.
How are they dressed? Just because you have money and you go in there, if you're dressed like a thug, they might think you don't have money.
Right.
But I remember I was walking down Bleecker Street in New York, and there was where the Marc Jacobs store is, right? Mm-hmm. You can love it or hate it, but you see two teenage guys in the store, right? Yes. Were they African American? Yes. My initial reaction, and I'm a person of color, so it's not about that. It's like, why are two dudes in a Marc Jacobs store for, bags? I don't care if you want to say they're buying for their girlfriend. It's a weird dynamic. Ultimately, the two of them ran out. They stole a bunch of bags and ran out.
No.
Yeah. So my point is this. So just because those two guys did that, should people of color not be allowed in Marc Jacobs ever again?
Agree, right.
So you can't play both sides of the fence.
I
okay?
agree.
So those two people did something that was completely, in poor judgment. But you can't say Jay-Z is responsible because someone black had a situation in Barney's.
I agree.
It's absolute lunacy.
I agree. But you know what? Anytime that somebody, again, is at the helm of somebody people can point their finger at, they're going to look and say, well, won't you do something? You're on the inside. Why can't you do something? Pull your contract and maybe it'll make them stop. Well, I don't think that'll make them stop.
So are they saying people of color do not shoplift from Barney's?
Well, no, they're basically saying more.
No, I'm just saying, what's the you can't have it. You can't say we're all right or we're all wrong. You know what I mean?
Basically, they're just saying that because have been racial profiling, that because Jay-Z is an African American man, they think he's making money there, but Jay-Z made a statement to let him know that he's not making any money off of that relationship that he has with Barney.
That's PR.
Of course,
Come on.
it's going to his his nonprofit company,
Yeah,
which
please.
of course we understand how all those things work.
Please.
To do more things,
Yeah.
it's all a tax write-off. We get it, but at the end of the day, it's not going directly to quote unquote himself.
Oh, because the proceeds are going to charity. Yeah.
Because the proceeds are
That's
going
the key
to
word,
charity.
Proceeds.
Yes.
But yeah, Jay-Z has nothing. Let Jay-Z do his thing, and I would like to see these idiots who are talking about him being responsible for this. What do they want him to do? I mean,
Right.
it's insane. So I mean, it's crazy.
I agree.
So Michelle Obama shouldn't wear those clothes either, right? Because obviously she should only wear black designers.
Right.
You know, there's a slippery slope of how we make these kind of like transcendent statements. That it's just insane. No.
I concur. So the new movie Carrie, the remake, of course, I used to love the old movie Carrie, and I have to say they did a great job with this movie. I have my critiques, but I definitely believe Julianne Moore should win something. She should win something. I mean, she played that mom, like the evil. Like she made me believe. I mean, all the little nuances of her scratching herself and digging in her skin, and like those little things that you did not get a chance to see in the first one that they really went into this one. I mean, it really made Carrie look like, in my opinion, the victim. Even though she killed a whole bunch of people, it just looked like she was overloaded, and it's not right, and snapped.
It's like Chris Brown. Yeah, don't fucking photobomb the picture if you don't want your nose broken. Simple. That's how it is.
Right. She just like, and so she just went and toe up everybody. But I mean, it's definitely a great movie. Now, what's your opinion on it? And then I'll give some more of mine. Yeah, what's yours?
Well, Brookshire, obviously you're in the minority here. Critics hated it. They actually said it was a pointless remake. It's kind of like doing Psycho. Certain things there's no need to touch. And just because she has red hair and, it was just a weird thing. Sissy Spacek was nominated for an Oscar for this. This will be getting no award consideration. Julianne Moore, who's stunning and, great actress. I don't know what she's been doing lately.
Right.
But, she's an amazing. I mean, she was the Kate Blanchett before Kate Blanchett was Kate Blanchett.
Right. I mean,
every movie she was making, she was nominated for an Oscar. Like I think she has 4 nominations. You know?
Wow.
And it's just, I don't know what but I guess everyone's doing a horror movie because it's, it makes money.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, so she's smart from that point of view, but no one cares. It made no money and critics hated it. So Brookshire, you're in the minority.
I am in the minority. And you know what? And I don't mind because it made I know it had to make some money. But I personally thought from watching it and being a movie lover, I just felt I thought her performance was great. Now,
I'm sure she's always good. Yeah.
Now, as far as in Chloe, I thought her performance was great, but I don't think she looked like the part of a girl that would have gotten picked on in that way. That to me was the part that wasn't believable. Now I understand
that's a smart observation.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, other than her hair being a little kinky, I think she looks like. I mean, even in the Bloody Red, she still looks like a fairly pretty girl in Bloody Red. So it doesn't seem like it would have been that necessary for her to act out that way.
That's a good point.
Right, as in the other girl that was playing Carrie, she seemed a little odd and
Sissy
peculiar.
Spacek, yeah.
Correct. So in that point, I can see her looking like, oh my God, and wanting to tear up everybody and everybody up in there. So I can respect that. So, okay, I can definitely dig that. Now, you were mentioning a little bit of things about the upcoming Oscars that are coming into place and how colorful. When you say colorful, you're saying color on all ways.
Correct. It's going to be phenomenal. It's actually, I love like the Oscar season, award season. It's starting, and you'll actually see some amazing films actually get recognition. It's an insane year actually because when you think about the quality of films that are made by people of color this year, you have Fruitvale Station.
That's right.
Who was produced by Forrest Whitaker and Octavia Spencer and what's his name, Brandon, the star of the show. I mean the film.
Oh, I know you're talking about, but it's not coming out. But Brandon, come on.
Whatever his name is. Yeah.
Come on now.
I think they should have released it later in the season. I don't think it'll get overlooked. I think because it's too crowded this season with the actors. But I think, Octavia Spencer will get nominated for supporting actress.
You think she'll get nominated again in this?
It's phenomenal. So think about this. In supporting actress alone, you'll have 3 African-American actresses nominated. Mark my word. You can write it down right now. You'll have 3 African-American actresses nominated. Octavia Spencer, Oprah Winfrey for The Butler, and this young actress Lupita Nyong'o. She is a Kenyan actress. She is in 12 Years a Slave.
Right, I've heard about that.
Every critic is going gaga over her and her performance. I hope the Oprah juggernaut does not take her over.
He said the Oprah juggernaut, but Oprah did her thing.
Yeah, but just because
she did her thing,
that's fine. But if a performance is that knock your socks off, just because she doesn't have a name yet, doesn't mean she shouldn't win. So we'll see.
I agree on that one. I agree on just the merits of the performance, being able to do it. Boom. I agree.
But to have 3 women of color in supporting alone, and then you go over to actor. You have, again, 12 Years a Slave, Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is the leading frontrunner right now for the Best Actor race, along with Robert Redford. Who's
The main guy?
Correct.
He's up for an Oscar in this?
Well, he's not nominated yet, but this will happen, yes.
You think so? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
because you hear all these movies. I mean, Afri Water was in there, and of course, Brad Pitt was in 12 Years of Slavery. You see all these movies on slaveries, and I know we were speaking a little bit about a lot of the movies. Some of them that really get nominated were the ones or more historical based movies. Now, this 12 Years a Slave, I watch TV. I'm out. When has it came out yet?
No. It's out. It's out right now in limited release. Actually, yeah. It's doing very well.
This is the thing that amazes me, that the people that win, the movies that win Oscars, sometimes you don't even ever hear about some of these movies. It's like, is there a group of like 12 people in a room that
No.
only
Yeah, but
that their opinions only matter?
No, because Americans are idiots.
Is that what it is?
It is. I mean, seriously, no. That's in jest.
No, I
was
understand.
Born in New York, so I can say that. However,
Watch it. No, I'm
'cause
joking.
I watch the films I watch aren't Oscar kind of fare as well. You like to be entertained when you go to the movie. So, like the number one film right now is Jackass, the Jackass film.
Oh, Bad Grandpa?
Correct, which is fine because I love Johnny Knoxville. Good for him.
Right.
However, just because something is popular and quality do not always equate.
I agree.
So when the films that are nominated for Oscars and their performances, they're Oscar caliber performances. Just because someone's good in a film does not mean it's going to get awards attention.
Right.
So you have Chiwetel Ejiofor. So it's in limited release right now because they're doing a kind of a platform where they can have an Oscar run, and then they'll open out fairly soon. But it's done really well in limited release. I think last week when it was in only a few theaters, it made $500,000
Oh, wow.
per theater. So it's been really, really successful.
Oh, wow.
You
Well,
know?
okay.
So there
Well,
you go.
I can dig that. In your opinion, because we only have like 4 or 5 more minutes left, and then we're going to be wrapping this up.
Okay.
Because we're going to be ending after we go. I'm going to be moving into, of course, Miss Kardashian. Of course,
Okay,
we want
wow.
to end with talking about her. But in your opinion,
Yes.
because maybe you've mentioned it, what do you consider a Oscar-worthy performance? Who would you say?
Meryl Streep.
Okay, and I'm not just because you say everything that she does.
No, so
I mean, because
she's
she has
phenomenal.
20 different.
She is. I think she is just phenomenal. And right now, the actress, I think is just. I mean, she is like the new Meryl Streep while Meryl Streep is still around. Kate Blanchett. You need to see Blue Jasmine. That's an insane performance. She is so good. It's about, it's like difference in reading Danielle Steele and actually reading quality books. It's the same distinction. Just because something is popular does not mean it's good. Woody Allen's film Blue Jasmine is really, really well done. Sandra Bullock in Gravity, phenomenal.
Yes,
You
now
know?
I know. Like, what's going on with that? Now I've heard some buzz going on with that. Did you get a chance to see it?
I have, yes.
Okay, was it entertaining?
It's amazing. Like Alfonso Cuarón is just. This is what they're doing, and they're smart. For the first time, Hollywood's trying to do something interesting. They're taking these kind of auteurs and trying to, do big films with them.
Huh.
And I mean, it started with Sam Raimi, and then you have the guy that did Superman. It's these guys who are really directors, actually directing big films. And Alfonso Cuarón did he did Y Tu Mamá También. It's just phenomenal what he's achieved with this film. And then Sandra Bullock, who is just amazing, and I think there's a lot of buzz for her and love for her just because think about she's almost 50 and she's this film is going to push 200 million. Plus she did the Heat, which made another 150 this summer.
I still ain't seen the Heat. I want to
So-
see the Heat.
You have this woman who's pushing 50 actually making bank for the film industry as well as making quality films. So
Right.
I mean,
That's
you have to
great.
give a nod to her.
That's great. I remember when she did the interview on Oprah after the Oscar special when she won her Oscar, and she was just like shocked to know that her being more like the funny actress most of the time or not really the serious role, to be able to have an Oscar.
Yeah.
Like to her to be able to do it, and I think that's I find that to
and
be
the first one was
fascinating.
people view as a fluke, so maybe they would give her this as a kind of
What do you mean in Blindside?
Well,
I don't think so. She played that part in Blindside. She
Well,
earned it. She was a real person. You didn't see Sandra Bullock there. And I remember her from Speed. And you didn't and Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, but do you judge
did
her
not
based
see
on
that.
based on her performance in the past, or do you judge her based on the other performances in the category?
I judged
How do you
her
do it?
on the believability on her playing that role.
Yeah, but what about the other people who were nominated? So they shouldn't. I mean,
Well, I'm not saying that each person, because obviously if each person was nominated, they all had played that particular part. But me being a fan, of course, I didn't watch every single one of
Correct.
their roles. But knowing her work and seeing how true and believable, because most of the time when I see her, I see Sandra Bullock playing
Correct.
these roles.
Correct.
I saw her play that person, and also know the big guy. He's a buddy of mine.
Mm-hmm.
His name's not coming off my head right now. Big shout outs to him as well. But it just was. I just saw the
Transformation.
The transformation. So moving into transformation, of course, we know Kanye West, and of course also Kim Kardashian is going to be getting married. He proposed, but of course the big thing is, since Kris Jenner and her husband aren't together, was he going to still walk, Kim Kardashian down the aisle? I mean, everybody's saying why not? I mean, he's been her dad for years. I mean, since she was a little girl, I mean, that's all that she knows. What's your opinion on that?
well, it's weird just because obviously we're talking about it, so we have to talk about it. But it's, there's no opinion. It's like, this is their life. Why does anyone care? One,
I know.
And two, I believe she said. I think she had a statement said he will walk her down the aisle.
Okay.
Just because it is, like you said, her dad. So
Right.
yeah. I think the surprise thing was orchestrated by Kanye and Chris. So obviously she has ill feelings towards Bruce. So obviously she wouldn't invite him to the surprise. But the wedding, I'm sure he'll be invited. But it's family drama. I don't want to deal with my family drama.
Right.
Why
Why
do
I
care
want
about
to deal
someone
with somebody else's
So-
family drama. Well, I guess once you get your life started on a reality television show, then you just become engraved
America's
in
family.
America's. Yeah, you are America's family. I guess that has
I
to
hear ya.
suck sometimes, but I guess you got to be the special type of people to welcome it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that comes with a set of stress, as I know they were saying they couldn't even get out the driveway sometimes, and there's just a lot of.
Poor them. Oh.
You so funny. Poor them. Okay, so we're going to be wrapping this up, brother. So I just want to tell you so much, man. Thanks for coming into the
Oh, thank
studio,
you. No.
man. And I appreciate you so much for coming in. And, you really, you did your thing, man. You held
Talk too much.
Right, yeah, you held it on down, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
So appreciate you, and like what we always do here on this particular show, and we were wrapping things up because of course we're gonna wrap things up. Tell us real quick, how do we find you? How do we get a hold of you? Real fast for the viewers out here.
You mean my agency? No.
Right.
You don't need that. So yes, I am well represented. But no,
Right.
at Matsen_Andreas is my Twitter and Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well. So just there you go.
Okay, definitely. And to each and every single one of you out here, people, I love you, right? Y'all all know that I love you so, so very, very much. And like what we always say, where the mind goes, where your mind goes, the body will follow. Remember that, people. There's always another you, better, stronger, more wiser on the other side of whatever opportunity, whatever obstacle that you feel is currently in front of you. Reach with both hands for your goals, folks. Reach with both hands for your goals and grab it. Because you know what's going to happen? Every time you reach, you're going to pull yourself up to another level of greatness. Believe me, trust me, it happens. Even if you don't think it will, just take that next step to your greatness. Just take one, believing that the next one will come. I love each and every single one of you. And until next week, we're going to be right here every week, 6 p.m. You're going to see this man more and more on the show, so we want to just give big shout-outs to him. Thank you so much. And again, I'm your main man, Mr. Brookshire. This is Real Talk with Brookshire. And I holla. Peace.
This is the